Welcome back to another season of Where Rams Walk. 20 minutes of reviewing every single Derby County game this season. We're delighted to have you along with us. We're looking back at the disaster, of course, at the Bet 365. We've got Luke, Stace and Peyton back with us, and delighted this year to be joined by Matt as well, all Twitter royalty. I've got lots of opinions to give on that game yesterday. First of all, if you're just coming across the channel, we have been going a year, but delighted to have you along with us for this year. Let's kick it off, shall we? Luke, there wasn't many positives I could find from the forums and all the tweets from the game. Was there any positives to take from it?
There's not many to really count, but I will say I think one massive positive I really enjoyed was how much Colton Morris won the ball, lumped forward. He won so many headers, but no one was latching onto him. It's a proper number 9 that we've needed for ages, and he looks like he was probably the only positive from that game.
Okay. Anybody else got any other positives apart from the scoreline wasn't too bad?
I think as the game went on, to be fair, we looked the better side until it all went to pot when we let Lewis Baker score a screamer and then went to a 5 at the back for no reason 10 minutes before the end. And then I think it was meant to be Sanderson there, who was meant to be marking Obama, which wasn't. So that was interesting, I'll say.
Yeah, we're going to come on to Sanderson in a second because there's been a few people who have already been wanting to send him back to Birmingham. Let's get a view on this one. First of all, Stace, Kev says, well, that was awful from the first whistle. Weak midfield, weak defence. The only team I know who could sign so many players in the summer and still have to start with Fozzy. I mean, we're not going to have any Fozzy abuse on here at all. But do you get the poster's point? Stace, sorry, I lost you.
I think midfield was set up. Yeah, I think the midfield was set up really, really wrong yesterday. Ibu behind Morris doesn't work. He needs to be industrious in the centre of midfield, and it was just too lightweight with Kenzo and Tomo in there. Didn't really compete all match in that one. And then the frustration is, but we've known about, is that the majority of the signings we've got are either injured or not fully match fit. So I don't expect anything overly different for the next couple of weeks, to be fair. But
yeah. I mean, we don't want any head losses. We don't need any knee-jerk reactions to the first game, do we? But Matty, there was a few. Carl says we looked very leggy at the back today. Hopefully, that's just down to it being the first game of the season. The Clarke gamble didn't pay off, getting injured in pre-season, then chucking him in for the first game of the season. The options were probably limited today. 45 games to go. It will get better. Do you agree with all of that, Matt?
I concur that things will get better. I think Clarke and Bath equipped themselves really well. I'm not sure how many minutes they'll have played together, but they're obviously both very experienced. I think Fozzy's going to be going to sort of 6.5, 7 out of 10s, but he lacks pace now, doesn't he? Especially when he gets turned, and that's going to be a worry for me. I agree with what was mentioned about the midfield. Ozo, that's a positive for me. As long as Colton Morris getting Ozo with some legs under him, I think he'll get some minutes into his legs. Sorry, I think that's going to be really pivotal. I doubt he'll play much at West Brom. I expect him to get a bit of a run out again, because I think Ozo is that one who can literally cover all areas. And I think where we're lacking is somebody with those legs and with that quality, because we have legs and we have quality, but we don't have them combined very often, I don't think.
Yeah. Just staying on Clarke for a second, Matt, there was some Stoke fans that weren't very happy about him falling to ground a lot. Do you having any of that criticism at all? They said that he was wanted to hit the deck a lot.
Not as much as their centre forward tried to belly flop his way to the ground for a penalty shout. So, what goes around comes around, I'd say. Okay.
Fair enough. Anyway, a far better game than the 0-0 at Pride Park that finished last season, when you were just tapping it between yourselves, just hoping for Preston or Luton to be relegated. Right. Let's talk about Sanderson then, shall we? This was one of many tweets we found, Luke, which was more polite ones, I think. Says, I'd like to apologise to every single Birmingham fan who said Sanderson is... you're absolutely right. Please take him back. From all at Derby County. I feel harsh putting this out there and asking it, but Luke, it's what we do here. We represent what's going on in Derby County forums and Twitter space. Yeah. Was he that bad?
I mean, I think he was just unlucky what's happened. I think we've just capitulated in the last couple of minutes. I mean, I'm not having someone slander a player who's not played no pre-season. He's come for 5 minutes and he's the new scapegoat already. I'm not having it. I've had enough of fans just first game in and there's just head loss everywhere. There's why? Why is there head loss for no reason at all? It's not his fault at all.
Yeah, Stacey, you agree?
Personally,
yeah,
personally, I think. Oh, go on.
Yeah, totally agree. He came on for 10 minutes. It's not his fault that we conceded the second goal, and the third goal was because we were pushing forward to try and get the equaliser. So,
yeah, it's bang on.
But I think there's some factions of Derby fans that just get a complete head loss, despite going into the season saying, "Oh yeah, we don't need to panic, and it's all about patience," and then instantly panicking. It's not required. Yeah. It's not needed.
Yeah, no such reactions on here, Peyton.
I think I have to disagree with that. He wasn't at fault for the second goal because he was on the right of the back three. I don't think we should have gone to a back three. I think he should have come on for just one of the centre backs or Ryan Nyambe, and we should have just stuck with the back four, which was doing well. They weren't really having many chances. The only chance they had was that very nice goal that they did score. And he was probably meant to be on the right-hand side of the back three, and he wasn't there, and it gave Mbama a free header. However, we've been linked with him all summer. I personally didn't really want to sign him, but he's here now, and I'm going to back him as a player for Derby. And if he's going to play for us, I hope he does play really well for us.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, Eustace has signed the guy 4 times, I think, in 3 years is the stats. And if you talk to Blackburn fans, which we have done about it, that I'm sorry, and Birmingham fans as well, is that actually Eustace gets the best out of him. He is, he can be a liability, but Eustace knows how to coach him. So I think this will come good, personally.
Yeah, I think it will. I mean, I think with the saying Sanderson's for the second goal, I don't think it is. The amount of crosses they put in and the play got between our defenders nearly every cross. It was bound to happen at some point if you keep letting them cross. And obviously, it's just Sanderson. It's just Sanderson's there just to miss the header, and Bath don't get there either, and it goes in. But it was happening all game. The players between our centre halves every cross.
Yeah. Okay. Any other debutants on show that we want to call out? Anyone that was impressive? I mean, you're all injured, I know, but any other stand-up performances? I
thought Danny Bart did well. However, I think, especially in the first half, he was stretched really wide, and I think it exposed the fact that he's not a very fast player. Because Nyambe in the first half didn't look great, I'll be honest. He looks tired. He looked like he wasn't ready to play and was getting rinsed by their left wing, I think Sorba Thomas it was, every single time. And Danny Bart got exposed a little bit. But I think anything that came to him, he got rid of as well as he could.
I'd have to come in. When you're looking at defences and goalkeepers as a unit, they're that unit in the team, I think, that need to be as drilled as any, because ultimately they're regularly defending set pieces. They're set up to be the backbone of the team. And I think, and it goes back to what we said about Sanderson, I think it's unfair to pick out on him because he'd have only had 2 or 3 days to train with his teammates. Bath and Clarke, again, I don't know how often they played with each other, but communication, where you hold your line, when you encourage the press from your midfielders, etc. Whereas other parts of the team, yes, there's combinations and there's relationships, but I think those relationships across the back 4 or 5 are vital, and the goalkeeper as well, to build during the next coming weeks. And so there was always a danger for me not having a consistent back line during pre-season, because you're going to have moments like that.
It's going to be a fascinating season. There's 2 teams I can't predict what's going to happen with this season. That's Norwich and you guys. I have no idea. I mean, you could be 8th, you could be 18th. I'm just... but the manager is what gives me confidence that you're not going to be in that relegation fight. I can't see personally that happening. But that was a bit of an un-Eustace-like performance, Luke, and overall, wasn't it? In terms of how he likes to be tight.
Yeah, I think you're bang on there, mate. I think way we was playing towards the end of last season, the midfield really got involved. And yesterday, it was just bypassed every time. The ball was just lumped forward to Morris, which fair enough, he can win the headers, but the midfield was just bypassed. And I don't think Kenzo and Thompson can play together. I just don't think there's no yin and yang there. I'm not really a massive fan of that at all. But yeah, it wasn't a John Eustace performance at all. But like I say, I've got faith it's going to get better. It's first game. I'm not really too worried.
Okay. Stay behind in the video. I want to get your opinion on what's going on at Sheffield Wednesday as well in terms of ownership. Do you have any sympathy whatsoever? We've all seen the video of them shouting at you guys, of course, when it was going to happen. So I'll be amazed if you do, but we'll find out in a second. Do drop us a quick subscribe if you haven't yet already done so. That'd be great. Now predictions. We're going to ask you for each of you to say higher or lower. I'm going to give you a team in the league, and you're going to tell me whether you think the Rams will finish higher or lower than the team that I give you, and then we'll ask you for your prediction. Starting with you, Stace. Higher or lower, please, than Watford?
Higher.
Okay, like it. Peyton, Hull City.
Higher.
Matt, Preston North End.
Higher.
Luke, Pompey.
Higher.
Oh my God. You're winning the league at the moment. Right.
Absolutely.
Stace, QPR. QPR, Stace.
Higher.
Peyton,
Yeah,
Oxford. Okay.
Higher.
Right, okay, we've got to find one in a minute. Fine. What about Leicester, Matt?
I'm going to say lower.
Okay, lower. We're getting there. Luke, Norwich.
Oh, lower.
Okay, Stace, Millwall.
Lower.
Okay. Peyton, Wrexham.
Higher.
Higher than Wrexham. Okay. Matt, Birmingham.
I was laughing when you asked in Wrexham because I thought, who's going to get Birmingham? And it's me. I'm going to say lower based on spending potential.
Okay. And Luke, based on what you saw yesterday, Stoke City.
Higher.
You finish higher than Stoke?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Interesting stuff there. Let's get some numbers then. I've got Derby as 13th this year in my league, so let's see if I've been a little bit mean there. Stace, where have you got yourselves?
I did a prediction on Friday. I've gone with us getting 10th.
Oh, okay. Like it. Peyton?
I did a prediction and I have a sixth, just scraping into the playoffs.
Nice.
You know we're recording this, don't you? Yeah.
I said 16th last season,
yeah,
so
this will be played back at the end of the season. Okay, Matt?
I've been thinking anywhere between 10th and 6th, so I'm going to go with 8th.
Okay. Luke?
I had a smaller margin. I had between 10 and 14, so I'll go smack bang in the middle. I'll go 12th.
Oh, I can't fence it, but okay, we'll let you off this one. Right, okay. I think somewhere between there, we've probably got the average of about 9th, haven't we? Which will probably take 9th now, Stace, wouldn't you, if I offered it?
Oh, absolutely. Yep.
Right, Coventry City then. Let's talk Coventry City, Matt. Up next, for the first league game at Pride Park. Lampard back. Give him a nice warm welcome again, will you?
Yeah, we asked to start the bounce and then totally blank it as normal, I should imagine, or normal since he left. I think Coventry, interesting, they've been putting a lot of people's top 6, and I do fancy them to be in and around 6th to 8th. Our home form's going to be vital again, as it is with every club, and I'm hoping that with a full house and the recent memory of beating them early on in Eustace's tenure, if we could get a couple of players back in this week, maybe something more like an 11 that Eustace would want to go with, I'm going to go with a win.
Well, I mean, Peyton was going to bring up that result last year. That was a bit of a turning point, wasn't it, when you beat Coventry last year? Because you could see the belief coming back to the fans and to players, actually, that you've actually.
I mean, we played them off the pitch.
We
played them off the pitch that day. You know, they didn't get a look in. I think they had one chance the whole entire game, and it was from a free kick that that Zetterstrom saved. But I look back to this point last season. We come off first game of the season, had been played off the pitch by Blackburn, and we go to the first home game against a playoff side, and then everyone's like, "Oh, we've not got a chance. We're going to get battered." And look what happened. We beat them. I reckon same thing happens again. We put in a strong defensive performance. The home crowd, full house, get a 1-0 win from a set piece.
Right. Well, let us know in the comments where you think Derby will finish. Anybody want to put it higher than 6? Let us know in the comments. We'll give you a shout out next week and book you into the asylum at the same time. Right. Sheffield Wednesday have been going through a bit of a tough time over the summer. I just wanted to get your thoughts on this, because you can sympathise with their position in terms of having unscrupulous owners that just want to rinse the club and don't engage with the fans. But do you have sympathy? Luke, let's start with you.
I do, because I've got mates who are Sheffield Wednesday fans, and I've been there. Like, you can have all the banter on Twitter. I mean, I'm going to hold my hands up. I've put a tweet out with a laughing thing. So I'm playing a bit of devil's advocate here, but it's all banter at the end of the day. But genuinely, yeah, it's not nice to see. You don't want any club to be going like into turmoil. Same as Morecambe, it's absolutely horrendous. Like, you always want a football club to support. You want a football club for your kids to support, their kids. Yeah, it's just not a nice situation. I hope it gets sorted for them as soon as it can.
Stacey, there's a lot of criticism of the EFL, and I know at the time that when it was happening with you, there was lots of similar criticisms that they couldn't have done more. But once an owner's been appointed, that is essentially it, isn't it? The EFL are, at the moment, before the regulator comes up, pretty powerless to force a sale.
They are, but they've sort of created their own problems, haven't they, with their fit and proper tests for owners, which just doesn't cut the mustard. Yes, it leaves a bit of taste in the mouth, all the stuff that we were singing when we were in that position, but football clubs are at the heart of every community, and there's no place for Chanzeri in football. He needs to go. They need to get new owners and move on.
Matt?
I'd echo what Luke said. I've got friends who are Sheffield Wednesday fans. You know, geographically, it's likely to be the case in this part of the world. They're a big club. I mean, I'm old enough to think of Sheffield Wednesday, right? You know, that sort of size. Someone takes them on, and this is probably where they have the advantage over a Morecambe or whatever. They've got a really, you know, you see them go away from home, a big club. We always look forward to hosting them because they're always going to sell out. I hope, you know, I take no joy in another club going through the ringer, because, you know, it's like a divorce. If you experience one yourself, you don't want to wish it on anyone else.
Yeah. Payson?
I agree with what everyone else is saying about how, you know, obviously you don't want a football club to die. It's just a horrible thing, you know. You got to think outside of just the fans, you know, the players, they haven't got a job. They've also got families. The youth players coming through, you know, that's their career, their dream, and it could be shattered because one bloke's too arrogant to sell the club. However, the Sheffield Wednesday fans haven't helped themselves with how they did it around every other club going through anything like that. And I don't think it's all of them. It's definitely only a small percentage. However, I think when we were at our lowest point, they came in their numbers and, you know, celebrated the fact.
Yeah, they sang "We're having a party when Derby dies," didn't they? It's, you know, that's what literally they were singing at your stadium. Which, yeah, but hey, we've all got a minority of fans that would probably do that, haven't we? But I think the representative, no one would want to see Derby or Sheffield Wednesday disappear. Thank you for that. Really good commentary. Appreciate it. Or let us know your thoughts. Of course, in the comments next week. We are looking at kits, of course, next week as well. Luke is fashioning one of the potentially more colourful ones. We're going to talk about this season's away kit. Where does it rank in terms of your favourites? It's divided some fans. Some say it's a lazy effort. Some are saying, well, you know, what more can you do with the colours that we've got available to us? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. We'll read some of those out next week. Thank you very much, all 4 of you. Great to have you on board for the season. Looking forward to how it goes, the ups and the downs, the twists and the turns of the next 45 games. Thanks for watching. Have a great week. Good luck against Coventry. We'll see you after Lampard.
Cheers, guys.